No hipsters.
No hipsters.
No Hipsters pod.
Episode 70. No hipsters pod. Your boy Ronzi. Why are you laughing?
Sorry. Go ahead.
This week, our guest is none other than Eddie Midnite.
What's up, guys?
Welcome back. It's been a while. And
I'm our fan favorite.
Are you?
I must be. You invited me back.
Is he? But no, we're always happy to have you here. Co-host of No Parking on Sundays.
Founder and creator, just like you said. Founder and creator.
Right. That. But yeah, good to have you back. This is our year-end show. 2022 has been an interesting one. And actually, a lot of things that I was trying when we were prepping for the show, was trying to figure out what happened this year. And a lot of things felt like they happened last year.
But it was a long year.
Yeah, it was a long year. A lot.
It was a weird year. Yeah.
It really was. Things that happened in January feel like they were September of last year. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the year in pop culture and music and shows, movie, what have you, and get us ready for the new year. Let's start with music. Why are you laughing at?
You're just funny, dude. I enjoy this.
Good.
You have a real reporter voice. When you're ready, you're yeah, let's get into it, guys.
Listen,
but yeah, music.
I'm a professional, okay?
Yeah. I would say music this year was very lackluster for me. I didn't feel.
We agree.
I don't feel like music really did a lot to capture this year. I think a lot of artists kind of took some time off. People like Drake used that to put out 2 albums in 1 year, and it still didn't feel like that first album.
That first
honestly,
album barely made a blip, but it did get a #1 hit.
It did, but it was a dance album.
But the one rap song was number. Actually, the big reveal for that release was that 21 Savage has more cachet than I ever thought because of the #1 hit.
I knew that. I felt that him and Metro Boomin, what they did last time they did a mixtape together, I knew that
that was
21's always been consistent. I agree. But this year, as far as music-wise, I didn't really... wasn't feeling the vibe.
Yeah, me neither. So, what would you... I'll go first, really, because I don't have that many standout album moments. I really would say, outside of Renaissance, no album felt that good to me. I didn't. None of Drake's projects were that great to me. Even the one with 21 Savage, it was okay. But as far
I would have
as
added Renaissance to my list if she had actually done something with it. She just gave everyone an album, and that was it. It was a beautiful, cool rollout, but there hasn't been a music video, any visuals.
No, see, we're talking about just the music here.
I feel like even with the music, everything comes into play. Everything from the tour to the buzz to the hype.
I think the point of her not putting out videos is that she wants people to listen to all the songs that might be.
Lyricists. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Just dance and make TikToks to it. Let's not give these artists that much credit.
21 Savage is a lyricist, apparently.
He is. Did you hear what he said? He said when he goes to the club, he doesn't even show his ID. They know he's 21. I know. Let that just marinate. I know.
That was an easy one. I could have come up with that one. I could have come up with that one.
But you did it.
Because my name's not 21 Savage. But, clever. But, yeah, it is what it is. I think definitely, he's had a good year. Even though definitely Drake kind of sort of carried him on his back in some ways. But all
the way.
Yeah. Okay, so we agree there as well. But I know you have more albums that you thought were good, but for me, really, as far as great albums in 2022, it was just Renaissance.
Freddie Gibbs, his album was pretty good. Sold separately, SSS. Really dope album. Freddie Gibbs has been in all types of controversy, from getting beat up to
beat up.
Yeah, he got into a fight in Buffalo with. What's those guys with West Side Gun and their little crew?
I heard about that one.
Is
there a video of it?
Yeah, and him and DJ Academics, him and Joe Budden. He's beefing with everybody, but one thing he's really good at is making albums. Okay. So I'll give him that. That album was really good.
But he's kind of a niche artist, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he gives me I don't know if you're hip to Currency. He has a select few people that will listen to him. Right. And I think he did this album with The Alchemist or something. I don't know. Okay. I might be wrong. But the production on the album was really good, so it gave you a different vibe. But
Heard you.
Dark Hearted was a really good single off that, and a few other joints. He was going off. I like that.
Gotcha.
Ashake, Mr. Money with the Vibes, great album.
So let me ask you a question, Shaka. Do you think he is an artist that's here to stay, or just a flavor of the
If
month?
his management stops fucking up, yes.
Because there's something about the craze around him that feels very temporary. Like it feels like this time next year he will be completely forgotten.
He is giving you what's that guy from Gonna Come My Way? What's that guy?
Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap. So remember how
That's
Fetty Wap
perfect.
basically came out and dropped 20 singles, and you thought he was going to be here forever, but he basically emptied his clip. Shout out to Tory Lanez. He emptied his entire clip. And he gave you too much music in 2 years.
Let's just stop on that one, because while I will say that was clever, we don't support or endorse or shout out Tory Lanez. I don't give a
Everybody got it.
Actually, no. Terrible. I'll let you continue before I go off on a tangent.
I forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about? Ashake. So I think yes, if his management understands that it's not quantity, it's quality. He put out another single with what's that lady?
That old lady?
I said old lady.
You did say old,
but she's not old.
Tiwa Savage.
Yes,
that's
Tiwa Savage. I said that terribly.
But
like that song, you would expect it to be a hit, and it really wasn't. It was almost the same cadence, the same vibe as his last.
People. Let me just say that a lot of times people like accuse me of being shady, but the fact of the matter is that oftentimes the people on here, the guests, are way worse. But let's continue.
I'm not shady. I'll say it to anybody's face. But the album that just shows you that he's basically reaching the plateau of how creative he can be.
Right.
That same song sounded just like all his other singles.
Like he does like the choir with every song.
And that is also inspiring a lot of Afrobeat artists to also do the same thing
with
and
choirs?
copy his sound.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole choir anthem, giving it a vibe in the back and making it sound like it's a bunch of people.
I will say this, the music is amazing, and it's so fresh and so unlike anything. I
hope he sticks around a little bit, but that sound will not stick around. Yeah, that's the problem.
Precisely.
People will eventually
it's going to get boring after a while.
Yeah.
But I will say it sounds not only just different from anything in Afrobeats, but really just in music, period. I don't think there's anyone really putting that combination of elements together in that same way.
Kanye did. Kanye's always had a choir in his last two albums.
He did.
Kanye's
I'll give you that, but not like
choir.
in this
And I feel
exactly.
like Ashake also in Yoruba, he's doing a lot of anthems, a lot of preaching.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
He's saying a lot of things.
It's church choir, but also it's very African.
Yeah, so he's saying a lot of things in Yoruba, very deep things as well, as far as some of the things he's going through, what his people are going through. Songs like Organized, Dupe, like he's really talking about like spirituality and some of the things that he's going through and just people. So
he's also a very charismatic guy.
He seems really chill, but RIP to the people that do lose their lives at his concerts. He came here to Baltimore, and it was a whole situation.
Yeah, so you jumped. I was just gonna say one of the things that I think could affect his position is just all the bad news that keeps coming out of his concerts.
All news is good news in show business, though.
Not when people are dying.
Yes and no.
So first of all, there was a Baltimore concert, which was a shit show.
It was a shit show.
And people got minor injuries, nothing major. But then the London concert from just a week ago.
Listen.
Actually, 5 days ago.
He had all that terrible publicity from not only that show, the DC show was a shit show as well.
Oh, really?
And
I thought it was
it DC? It was just Baltimore. You're right.
It was Baltimore. Yeah.
And he went somewhere else and it was bad.
And it was bad. But I heard the DC show actually was good.
Yeah. So after that,
lucky for us,
he still sold out the O2 3 times. That was day 3. Before the mayhem happened.
Yeah, and just to be clear, it's the O2 Academy, not the O2
Arena. Yeah. So regardless,
it's a 5,000 person capacity.
And I think that what his management is doing is underselling him. They don't realize how big of an artist he actually is.
But in their defense, and I agree, because definitely if you could sell.
And what the fuck do his tickets look like that everyone's making fake tickets?
My thing is, if he could sell out O2 Academy
people
a
in
few days
London.
in a row, then he probably could have done the arena. But
They didn't. I don't think they understand how big. I mean, he's a first-time artist.
Exactly.
So for
'Cause
them, they're
Wizkid,
probably like,
Burna Boy, they all did that like 9-10 years into their career. So it's hard to imagine that an artist can do this in the first like year or two of being famous. And also,
well, we have to remember that times have changed.
Thank you.
TikTok
Let's make
and
that
all
point.
of these apps are now.
So it comes
you're
quicker,
reaching
and also
a different
Afrobeats
audience.
is just a different commodity than
You're
from
reaching
what
a
it
whole
was.
different audience than what we used to. It used to be a select group of people that listen to it. Now, every African girl that likes a Nigerian guy is listening to the music. Every African guy who wants to get to even
Americans.
even Americans, anybody.
White
You could
Americans.
travel all over the world.
Yeah.
You'll hear our music played in clubs, bars, hookah bars, anywhere. So at this point, it's now touching more than just one side of the culture. So
Right.
whoever is his management team needs to do more research and understand that you could sell way more tickets at a bigger venue, and also be a little bit more strict as far as the kind of clientele that you guys are selling to. There's no reason why someone should pay $4K for a table and it's a picnic table. Like, you guys need to work.
$4,000 for those tables.
People were wilding
at the Baltimore Shore.
Yeah, it was crazy, and stampedes and stuff. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad because it's unnecessary, and that's the problem when unnecessary death happens when it can be prevented.
So yeah, so a 33-year-old woman died in London just this
I
past
think
week.
somebody else passed too. I think it was two
second
people.
person?
Yeah, supposedly it was two. Two
Oh, wow,
people were
okay.
critical, but it's. You don't want to be put in those kind of positions. But as far as his longevity in the genre, it's been a year, and this year, honestly, has been a Shaka's year. So I don't know what next year looks like,
Actually,
but
well,
if he continues to work with
I'll
us,
say it's been his breakthrough year. If we're talking about who's had the year, especially in Afrobeats, I will say Burna with the
Burna's kills
MSG show, and then the Capital One show, which apparently is now his biggest concert ever. He made apparently
because here in the DMV, there's too many Africans. So
yeah, it was always shocking to me that he didn't come here first, but I guess MSG is a bigger venue, I think.
hell yeah.
So
And it's not just a bigger venue;
it's
it
just
also
more
has more
acclaim,
popular.
yeah.
It's New York.
But yeah, so
People from here flew there.
right. Actually, so I actually got a ticket, but like by the time I went to New York for a party that day, and then by the time I was heading back the day before, when I was heading back, I found out that someone had gotten me like a box seat, but like I was already on the train back.
You cool? You got box seats? All right.
No,
You got flued out?
not quite. But yeah, I mean, that was a really good show, and as was the DC show as well. So, Burna, I think, was good. The Love Damini album, actually, I haven't heard all of it, but the 5 or 6 songs I've heard.
That's one of
really
my
good.
top albums, but it was good, not great to me. It was good, not great. And yes, the singles, he has plenty of singles that did pop off. It's Plenty, Last, like he has joints.
So can I, unpopular opinion, I actually don't like Last at all.
Okay, you're wild.
I don't.
The song is good. As much as
don't.
it's annoying to hear,
I don't like it.
As much as it's annoying to hear it every day,
and
everywhere. And yes, it's a breakup song, quote unquote, but yet you still listen to it all the time.
Breakup song about Steph London.
It's not really about her, but it's. He was dealing with multiple women, let's be honest.
Well, it brings about Steph London. So.
Yeah, but she is also cosplaying as a Nigerian girl, so we got.
She's cosplaying as a Nigerian girl? Wow.
Anyway,
I've never heard all these strong opinions
that
about
album.
Steph.
That album was definitely
I
good.
keep calling her Steph London, but her name is Stefflon Don.
I don't know what her name is, but
Yeah.
she's alright.
Okay.
21 Savage and Drake, probably my favorite rap album of the year.
Okay. That's fair.
Because Petty Drake is the best Drake, and I don't know why people were surprised. I
But
love when Drake.
is he petty or is he problematic?
He's petty. He's always been petty.
No, because I think no, real talk. The comment about Megan and all that, even though he didn't call her by name,
brilliant line.
I thought it was kind of stupid.
It was a beautiful double entendre.
Nah,
that's what rap is.
It was corny. It was corny.
And then what is the trial telling you?
The trial's telling me that Tory Lane shot her.
We're not watching the same trial.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Yo, honestly.
Apparently not.
Honestly, it could be taken 2 or 3 different ways.
No, it can't. It really can't.
It was a clever line. That's what rappers do. To start patronizing every line that an artist does is to take away from the culture and to take away from what rap is. Just the same way you do with comedy. Once a comedian is now being checked for everything that they do, it's watered down and it's not the same product. You cannot start to monitor an artist for what they say or reprimand them for what they say unless you're about to check every single person, because there's Johnny Cash, there's the rock bands of the early 2000s. What they were saying was problematic. But
No. We're talking about
people have mentioned people getting there committed suicide, all types of stuff.
I'm gonna have to stop you.
It was a clever line. Let's just call it what it was.
We're talking about someone who's talking about a real life incident. This is not like random violence or whatever. Real life incident involving people of which he knows.
We don't know the story. Look, you don't know the story.
And that's exactly why he shouldn't have rapped about it.
I mean,
and that's exactly why he should not have rapped about it.
So we're doing this live, right? And
yes.
I don't think you were able to possibly read the testimony that came out today.
I've seen a lot of it.
You didn't finish it then.
Okay.
Because if you did, you would know that the witness said homeboy shot in the air. So regardless, what Drake said was...
Okay, so they have... So who shot her?
Listen.
Okay, why would Megan lie about it?
Supposedly.
Then why would she lie about it? Why would Megan lie about it?
That's the point. That's the point.
Okay.
This bitch, she got shot.
So honestly, no,
if this bitch lied.
Listen, if she...
But it don't matter.
And I know she's not lying. If it turns out that she's lying, that would be the craziest thing ever.
Everybody in that car was capping.
What...
Every single person in that car was lying.
Was capping.
But we'll talk about this off this.
I thought you were about to make an entendre over there.
No, not at all. Because we'll talk about this offline.
Capping.
They already had a witness who confirmed everything. It was all stupid. They're all lying. So another album that a lot of people don't know about is Jules. He's a producer. I think he's a Nigerian producer. I don't know where he's from, but everything he puts out is great. He has an album called Sounds of My World. It is Afro beats. It is Apiano. It is house. It is all.
You call it Apiano.
I don't care. You been to South Africa?
South Africans, we love and respect you on this.
Wait, you been?
I have not. I actually.
Guess who just got back?
Oh, you did.
Okay,
but here's the thing. Actually, I wouldn't go there because they're actually very anti-Nigerian from everything I've heard.
But I was there. We was vibing. Shout out my brothers. They was.
I love them though. I do have like lots of South African friends, but I love South Africans too. They're horror stories about how they treat Nigerians.
It's fucked up. I wouldn't say just the way they treat each other. That's the problem.
It's also bad. Okay,
yeah,
that's fair.
The black people there aren't living good. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
Africa, we gotta do better as a whole. Jules' album's great. Bad Bunny, Moscow Mule, I loved it. I don't know any Spanish, even though I took Spanish for 3 years or 2 years.
And I think the Spanish artists, I have to say, are creating this new ecosystem where they can achieve record levels.
Who's the other Spanish artist? Bad Bunny's the only one I know.
There's a few like Anita and Rosalia, actually pretty big as well.
That sound like my classmates. I don't know any of them.
But anyways, we're just gonna skate over that one. Bad Bunny had record tour attendance this past September. I think might have been the highest of all time. I think for the year
he murdered this year, and he killed the Wicked Witch of the West, Taylor Swift, in every category.
Why Taylor in it?
I don't like Taylor. But anyway, Moscow Mule was great. Bad Bunny's a beast. He also did a great job in Bullet Train, even though he didn't speak English.
I actually have that bookmarked to watch, but
spoiler alert.
No, it's fine. No, I know he's in it, but he grossed $435 million this year in tour tickets.
How do you have that number in your head?
Because listen, nigga, I'm a professional.
When is Media Takeout? Is that still alive?
Apparently it is. It is.
That's crazy. I just thought about that.
Yeah, you know the guy who founded it, I'm pretty sure is African.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, like East African stuff.
The Weeknd on FM is another honorable mention of album
that
I loved this year.
That did not make any impact though, for some reason.
It did and it didn't. I think
I actually loved Take My Breath.
That's funny.
You did it?
The Weeknd, I love the album. He had Jim Carrey basically host the album, which was dope. It's a story behind it. It's very Black Mirror-ish. I loved it. If anybody's ever watched Black Mirror, San Junipero, I think that's the name of the episode. That's what the album gives me a vibe of. And then Vince Staples, Ramono Park, Broke My Heart. Very good album as well. That was it.
Okay.
As far as music, it sucked.
That's
but
good.
these 5, 6, 7 albums.
Very good. broad taste. I'm impressed. It's nice. Listen, I'd be lying if I said I really enjoyed a lot of albums this year.
Renaissance. I can't listen to a Beyonce album. I don't think I can listen to a whole Beyonce album. I can listen to singles, but like an album. So for me, I'm really into lyrics. That's really what drives me when it comes to my listening. And some people are into more of the beat, and then after their second listen is when they catch the lyrics. For me, I'm into lyrics, so I think Beyonce doesn't.
And Freddie Gibbs has better lyrics than Beyonce.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. So, anyways, yeah. It's funny you were talking about. I mentioned, how I didn't think Last was that good of a song. But I think that was culturally that song did really interesting things, and also in a weird way, it wasn't a chart hit in America. It didn't chart as high as Essence.
I would be surprised, but charts are lies. Everyone buys their time and space on those charts.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
If everybody pays attention to the charts, we would not have some of the generational impacts that we do have. People don't pay attention to. I feel like the only people that pay attention to it are the people that really don't matter. Honestly,
that's not true.
I don't pay attention to the charts.
Well, I do. So where does that leave us, Eddie? So I don't matter is what he said. Okay. But okay.
I think it's. I'll say this: the charts are one way of measuring music.
It's definitely one way.
And impact, but it's not the surefire
way,
which is what I think a lot of people
for a variety
and
of
a lot
reasons,
of companies think it is. Like, hey, your album didn't do this number, but the hood still loves me.
Of course, but I mean,
And clearly, the hood was still fucking with Burner, because
here's the thing.
I'm sure a record executive looked at that and said, "He's not charting more than top 50. He's not going to sell the biggest arena in the East Coast." And then he went and did what?
They must have known. If they didn't think he would, they wouldn't have booked the show. I will say this: so it was just weird. Like, it was big on TikTok and on the internet, but it wasn't like Essence. Like, Essence was like an actual chart hit, which was just. I really can't call it and say why one was one way and the other. However, it definitely captured like people's attention and definitely helped teach people about Nigerian slang in a way that I don't think any song has in the past. Everyone now knows what Igbo and Shayo means, which is hilarious.
Silly.
I see you're referencing it all the time now. It's just really fantastic time for Nigerian music.
Quick question: do you feel like it's a good thing that people now are understanding Pidgin?
I think it's a net positive.
Secret.
Yeah, it's a net positive. I think that because
net positive
in the sense that it's the downside is that we can no longer like say things without in a way that no one else can understand.
I like having broken English in our little.
I think that option is going away.
Yeah,
slowly.
Because one thing about confirming or introducing other cultures to our culture is that we don't do a good job adapting to theirs. So in some situations, they understand our language more than we do sometimes, to the point that they are easier to adapt to us. And then when it comes to us trying to adapt to them, we don't fit in, if that makes sense.
I guess what you're trying to say is that we're more accepting of them
than they are of us. Yeah, okay, and I don't want us to, I want us to just have our own.
Listen,
I like having an ecosystem.
Ultimately, all I want is world peace. And
I like having I think everyone should.
If that happens through music, I'm with it.
I think everyone should have their own ecosystems, and we can just visit each other. But when we start putting every ecosystem together, and never mind.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know what you're trying to say, but ultimately, if you want Nigerian music, African music to be on the world stage at this level, then definitely you're going to have to open the gates.
One thing is, we're always going to be on the level that we hold ourselves to. We need to stop looking for accountability and not even accountability. We need to stop looking for validation from other communities. We need to embrace ourselves. The way we hold
We have done that, though.
No, we don't. People shoot down BET Awards.
Okay. Point taken.
Soul Train Awards, like NCAACP
Cheers
Awards.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
We don't hold our culture to the same reverence as the Oscars, the Grammys.
That's the realest shit you've ever said.
All of that shit. And they're just, honestly, it's just white voters versus black voters. And we're just saying the black vote doesn't really matter to us because I got my community already unlocked. I need to win this community. But part of it is also because we don't buy when it comes to selling and buying, we are actually not we're the number one consumers. We're not the number one purchasers of our respective genre either. So that sucks. So I can see why an artist would cater to the Grammys more, because he wants to cross over and actually sell some music and live in a mansion and date Hillary Duff and shit.
Top songs of the year. So for me, I think Cuff It is the best song released in 2022. Coming by Beyonce. Stop acting brand new, Eddie. Like,
I'm sorry.
That's the best song released. But
like, Beyonce don't give me sexy too. That's the problem. Like, when I think of Cuff It, I'm like, I ain't got no cuff.
This is such a strange conversation. Listen, it's a good danceable song.
Holy smokes.
Great melodies, great vocal performance. I think it's the strongest song on the album. I think the album is actually fantastic. And you know what? Like, I'll save this for the next segment, but fantastic song. But really, I think, like, whenever the video comes, I think she's gonna kill it. And
she's not gonna put out a video.
So remember with The Lion King, she put the videos out like almost a year later. So I think that's what she's gonna do
I don't
again.
remember, but possibly.
But yeah, Cuff It, one of the best songs of the year. Honestly, I'm struggling to like give you any other really amazing songs. Actually, no, I'm gonna grit my teeth and say Harry Styles, As It Was a really good song as well. Yeah, that was a good one. It was a good one. I don't listen to the radio. It's the biggest hit of the year. Another good one, Bad Habit by Steve Lacy.
It was good.
That's a good song. And it's actually probably the most original song I've heard in a long time. It's like rock in the beginning.
His album
and
was very
R&B.
weird to me. I couldn't really get into it, but I have to give it another thorough listen. I didn't really.
Okay. As far as breakout singles, I'll say FNF by Glorilla.
That was a better single than anybody you just mentioned. That won the year. Let's go.
Wow.
That was the best single this entire year. I'm sorry. That little girl, not only did she get herself signed, she got all her hood rat friends in the car shaking their ass and twerking at red lights signed. So stop it.
I heard. That's amazing.
She changed people's lives with one song.
She did.
I'm sorry.
That and girl she's currently being cooked online for a variety of things. First last year, she's
a freak. It's cool.
She said she lets her boyfriend ejaculate in her cereal. And
I was waiting for you to say that.
and then now she's trying to hire an assistant for like $550 a week. So she ain't
say she was rich. She's still from Memphis.
Yeah, but it's just it's a bad like week or two for her. But anyways,
that's not a bad
breakout single for the year. And she won did she win an award recently?
She won an AMA. She's nominated for. She did when she won a MTV award, or was it a BET award?
No, it was an AMA, I think.
Was that a Grammy? I think she won a Grammy.
No, she was nominated for the Grammys.
She's nominated for a Grammy.
But like,
Nicki is not nominated, by the way.
Right, but it's like, we didn't know who this girl was, like, as of, like, April this year.
Now, the song really blew up.
Like out of nowhere. So we're seeing, like, a rise.
When I heard it, I knew it was a hit. I knew it.
Okay, that's good.
I heard it, I was like...
I liked it right away, I have to say.
Because I like hood rat shit.
Apparently.
I love hood rat shit. I love when women are in their element having fun with their girls.
Really?
It's the same way men...
Okay, so let's talk about next... Let's just drop right there. I like FNF. One of the best songs of the year. Munch by Ice Spice.
That shit was trash.
See, why? Why is FNF good and not Munch?
She didn't capture a vibe. She was just shaking her ass.
Bullshit.
The only reason... Ice Spice got pretty girl privilege. That's it. The music isn't good. She just has pretty girl privilege.
I don't even like to talk about people's looks, but actually, I don't think she's that pretty. I think she's light skin girl privilege possible.
You're being colorist. She's actually thick as fuck. So that's really what it is.
And I'm sure that works for her as well.
Regardless, but, I think just pretty. She's not.
She's pretty. I mean, she's not ugly, but like it's not like when I see her, I'm not, the first thing
I'm
not like
industry plant vibes. Like somebody behind her is pressing the button. But other than that, she's not as talented. She shakes her butt, and that's when she gets reactions.
No. I wholeheartedly agree. I think.
So you believe that was one of the best singles of the year?
I think that was one of the best singles of the year. I think she's actually better than a lot of these rappers out here. Right. And even I started going into her catalog a bit, and like she has songs that she released before that was really good. I think
her catalog, bro. That girl is not it. She's like 16.
She's 22.
She's a baby.
22.
So
she's 23.
She just started recording like a year ago.
It doesn't matter. Why does that matter? Who cares?
Do you think that song would have blown up without the visuals?
I heard it before I saw the visual, so yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, if you're,
There's your answer. Like, what is,
No.
I think it's just so weird how people get so invested in like trying to tear down female rappers. No, because that's exactly what you're doing. That is exactly what you're doing.
I'm talking about the hood rat from Memphis who had crooked ass teeth and pregnant girls with Hennessy bottles in their hand shaking their ass while the car was doing donuts at a red light. And this nigga talking about some light-skinned girl with a fucking afro talking about this nigga's a munch. You know she had a sex... No, that girl's...
But she has a sex tape?
She does. She's just a little girl.
It doesn't matter.
She has a song where she talks like, we both from the Bronx, so you know we dirty. Like,
I love that one. I was just about to mention before you interrupted me. I was about to say No Clarity.
She's not it.
Is actually the best in her
Glorilla
catalog.
did a song with fucking Cardi B. Tomorrow. Come on. Give that little girl her props.
And Cardi,
she went on the Breakfast Club and said she's thick, and she's not. Come on, that's so much confidence.
So I will say this. So actually, even though I like Glorilla, there is a clownish element about her.
I wouldn't say clownish. I would just say she's real.
You know,
we can call it corny, whatever.
I'm going to say corny. Let me say
vibe.
Comedic. I think clownish is harsh. Comedic, you know,
because she's just real.
Yeah,
she's a
and
real ass.
you know,
she's not pretending yet. She hasn't been sold the dream by the industry yet.
Listen, she's great. I just think I just prefer Ice Spice. That's all.
Drake flew Ice Spice out and unfollowed her the next day. You do the math. Anyway, what did he say?
I've heard about that.
What did he say?
Let's unpack that.
He said B Word is a 10, but put her album on mute. Oh, she can't rap, man. I'm sorry.
So wait, is it confirmed that line was about her?
Yes, it's Drake. Every line is.
So Drake is basically dissing her rapping abilities, and there's video of them together at, I believe, at OVO Fest, like standing next to each other, and
Drake clapped that joint and took her and told her to go back home.
Well, the story is that she got curved, and that's why he's so upset. And dissing her.
He got curved.
Yeah.
Oh, possibly. That's good. Drake bets with.
And this is all no one knows anything for sure.
I know Drake. Drake probably tried, and then she didn't throw it at him, and he said, "I bet."
And he knows Drake now. Okay.
Drizzy's my guy.
Got you.
He texted me.
This is giving Rolling Ray energy.
Beyonce has my number. Man, Beyonce talks every now and then.
She check up on you? Okay. All right.
Are you done with your list?
Go ahead. Yes.
All right. So as far as my list, I have Dave, artist from London, Peckham, stand up. My 24th birthday, deep song about how his mother struggled and came to where she is. He's probably the best UK rapper.
His name is
Dave.
Dave, okay.
You need to listen to this song, actually, if you ever get a chance. It's a very deep song. Dave is also the gentleman who was in Top Boy season, the season before the last.
Okay.
So he was the guy who went to jail, who had the deformed face and stuff like that.
Perfect.
So great actor, great rapper, probably the best rapper in the UK. I stand on that. Dave spits.
High praise.
My 24th birthday deep song, 6 to 7 minutes long of just really being real as hell.
Okay.
Probably as vulnerable as you can get as an artist. Ashake, Palazzo. That's it.
You know, that's
enough
what
said.
I see. I wish I mentioned that one.
That's
that was
what
his breakthrough
started
hit.
it.
Yeah.
That's what started it. He had a song that nobody could recite, but kept on trying to recite for a whole year. That's it. Last, you know what that is. Kiss Daniel, Booga. If my parents are dancing to your song, you got it. You're terrible at showing up for concerts.
Yes,
but
he got arrested in like Uganda.
He's an idiot. They arrested him for missing his concert.
Yeah.
I love Uganda.
Right.
Be petty. Guys, 2022 or 2022 is a year of being petty. Stay petty, guys, honestly.
Yeah.
You'll live life a lot more peaceful. Glorilla, FNF, come on now. Tim's and Future, Wait For You, great single. It was Tim's song. Future heard it, put her on it, or whatever. And the fact that
actually,
she's
had a sorry to interrupt, but she's had a remarkable year.
She has had a phenomenal year.
Actually, I think the breakout started this year, and because it started, I think that's when Free Mind really started popping off.
I think it was
actually last year with Essence and then Free Mind. But anyway, it spilled over into this year. Collaboration
Essence was 2020, and it kept on going.
It kept on going. That is true, but it really like popped in the U.S. in 21.
Still the best Afrobeat album of all time.
Made in Lagos. You think so? Okay.
Best album of 2020 as well.
Okay. Oh, that's fair.
And my last song is...
I didn't finish my point.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
2022, 2022, she's had collaborations with Beyonce. She co-wrote and is featured on Move on Renaissance, and also co-wrote "Lift Me Up," which is Rihanna's latest single. So I think
Rihanna doesn't write, so she wrote the whole shit.
Okay, stop it. But I didn't actually even know if Rihanna. I think Rihanna is credited, but yeah, stop.
I love Ree, but
Stop playing with my girl. But yeah,
she'll be right.
go ahead.
Free Party Next Door, Rihanna. Let him put out some music. He's done writing for you. Lil Uzi Vert, I Just Wanna Rock. That song took over TikTok to the point that even I don't have a TikTok, but I end up hearing it everywhere. They do all that hip stuff. Yeah. And the song, he's not even saying nothing, but the joint rocks. The video, fucking spectacular. He shut down New York. The shit was tight. I like it.
Lil Uzi Vert.
And he's also dating one of the baddest girls in the industry. I'll let y'all do your research. Yeah, so that's my top singles of the year.
It's very generous, but okay.
You like light skinned girls? That's
No,
fine.
that's not even.
She's a munch.
Oh wow! Let's not start rumors. Let's talk about top moments of this year. I mean, I really think that a lot of things happened. Nick Cannon announcing like at least 3 new babies this year, and actually I think they all have been delivered. I think one more is left, but yeah, he's had like 12 kids now.
Nick Cannon's probably having the greatest life ever.
No, actually, this
Between him
last
and Ben Simmons, they did some damage this year. Shout out to those two guys.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, you didn't know what he was on?
What was he doing?
Megan and Kels. And he was dating a Kardashian at the same time. And he was getting paid $200 million not to play basketball. Rehabbing his back.
Wow. But anyways,
on,
Nick
man.
Cannon, we're talking about the big stories of the year. Nick Cannon on all the new kids he's announced this year. Young Thug and Gunna being arrested on RICO charges. Gunna was actually just released in the last few days. Young Thug is still behind bars. You have
CYSL. I don't know if that's the gang sign.
This is not that type of podcast. Like, this is just not. It's just not that type of podcast. But okay. Anyways, yeah. But also all the death this year. Takeoff being killed. PNB Rock being killed in such like violent
Young
ways.
Dolph.
That was last year, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was December 21. But yeah, it's just there's so much happening. Serena announcing her retirement.
Semi-retired. She's coming
Yeah,
back.
she did make. I saw something about her.
Shout out Drake dissing at her husband.
See, Drake. This is a year that
Everybody
really,
got it.
No. Drake was being really weird this year. Now I'm someone who.
Drake has been who he's always been. People are not paying attention. He's always been this person.
Okay.
Drake
What's
has
unfortunate
never.
then?
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
he's always been this person. He's literally had love songs about her. He dissed him and Common had a whole diss track against his Stay Scheming verse was literally about Common. Like, come on, dog. Like, no. Drake has always been this person. You just have to catch it, and most people don't. I think now that everyone's finally paying attention, they're like, "Oh my God, he was talking about me." It's like, yeah, he's been talking about you.
Unfortunate, but anyways, Jesus and Mero announced the end of their show, and really,
You must have a like New York like love thing.
me. Is that you think that's what this is?
I mean, you love the Munch Girl. Now you're talking about Deezus and Mero.
No,
I don't
it's
think
not
they're really like
necessarily.
cultural. Their
Not
cultural impact isn't really
necessarily.
felt to me.
I mean, I am technically an East Coaster, but like not necessarily. I mean, I just think. I think Deezus and Mero are really unique as far as like the type of show that they created, and there was nothing like them. They came from Twitter, like went from being just people who went viral all the time, to growing such a large following and being on like major networks. Not
I'm
major
not
networks,
going viral.
cable networks, but
I'm not going viral once they got on TV.
That's
They
not
lost some.
necessarily
I think once you put the camera on them, they lost some of that.
the
allure.
grit.
Yeah,
And,
Once you start having to ask questions, just like I said about comedy, things now have to go through a writer
A
and
few
editor,
checks.
and
That's
it
fair.
takes away from the creativity. And
I
then
will
once
say, actually, the Vice version of the show is actually better than the Showtime version.
because Vice don't give a fuck. They used to show people getting beheaded.
Oh wow.
Vice is lit. I love their documentaries. Like they really,
Okay.
they will do the documentary in the drug, like where people are shooting up heroin and ask them, so how do you feel right now?
Yeah, it was. It was
like I love their.
It was. It
their
was
series.
more. It was less filtered, and also it was also like more current in the sense that they used to film every day, and that's why they hated it because they were exhausted. But like
That's what it takes to be the boss, man.
yeah, but Showtime was like, they had this like really like, short schedule where it's like twice a week, and like
They got
oftentimes
lazy.
they'd be talking about news that was like kind of old by the time they were on there.
Yeah, they fucked it up.
But the guests got bigger. They got like Obama and all these other people. But like
but it still didn't go viral as far as some of the interview questions and people that they brought on. Their early days with Vice, it was real. I could tell like Elon Musk was high, or whoever they brought was like drinking with them, like really having a more of a cadence to actually getting to know their guests. Then later on, it just felt like a publicity, like someone's on a publicity run, like, hey, having a movie coming out, now I'm gonna come in here.
I mean,
and
they
sit
were in the
down with
big
you
leagues,
guys.
and I think precisely the thing that we liked about them was that it was
They weren't.
It was
They were
so
the Bodega Boys.
Yeah, it was so low budget, and I think
It was low budget without
glossiness-
being low budget.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to. They sold it. They sold out
with
a
the
little bit.
glossiness. They lost a bit of something that I think people liked about them, and that's unfortunate. But anyways, the point is that they apparently have fallen out, and the show is no more, which is just such a sad thing and the end of an era. And as you mentioned, Elon Musk. I guess we have to talk about him as a top movement in 2022, purchasing Twitter and really turning it into a dumpster fire ever since.
Has it? Twitter's been the ghetto.
It's been, but it's
still,
gotten worse.
He hasn't changed anything
it's
on my
gotten worse.
feed. I don't know about anybody
Well,
else.
you also
Relax. This guy be sending me screenshots
You
of what
also retweet a lot of trash, but
at the end of
that's
the
neither
day,
here nor there.
Elon Musk hasn't changed shit about Twitter that Twitter isn't going to do to itself. It's ran by Black Twitter. Let's be honest. Without us, this Twitter would not exist. Without us, social media would not
That's
exist.
not what I'm
to its
talking about here.
premises.
What I'm talking about is the fact that the use
The
of
company's going down.
First of all, laid off half of the staff, and
But the app is alive.
yeah, but also even I mean, is that really true? If the use of the N-word is up by 500%,
I have not seen it.
of course you wouldn't, because you're not following crazy people. You're not like, or you are
Exactly.
following, you do follow crazy people, but like maybe not the people that would use that word. But like, it's just so many things about the app, it's changing, and also
You
just
can't believe every number and statistic that is given to you.
well, listen, I don't think people would
they're
make that up.
literally- they're giving-
I don't think people will make that up. I don't. But that being said, I think my main point is that having this powerful tool in the hands of someone who is so committed to conservatives, because I think the whole idea that this is a neutral man is a huge mistake that everyone is making. This is a conservative man who wants conservatives, Republicans.
Most rich people are. Black, white, Mexican.
Regardless
Asian.
of how true that may
Most
or
of
may
them
not
are.
be, we're talking about a specific person here, and how this person with very, very clear political intent has this powerful tool, and what that could mean for upcoming elections, and not just in America, by the way, in other parts of the world. So I think it's a more serious thing than people realize, and so definitely that is I won't say top movement, maybe a bottom movement of 2022. So we definitely have to mention, and also I think a great segue from that, it will be Kanye West. I think he's had a ridiculous year, and don't come on here defending him because I would turn this fucking camera off. But Kanye West has had a trash year, but I will say has been the biggest newsmaker of the year, and has just been just really, really going.
So wait,
deep.
is this? Are you talking about the people who had a great year, or
Just top newsmakers of the year? Yeah. So really, I think Kanye West made a lot of news. His losses, Adidas deal. He's really settled in his conservative views, and more importantly, like the anti-Semitism and just the anti-black self-hate, if you will. And it's sad to see someone who was before Drake, Kanye West was my favorite rapper, and to see him turn to what he is now is really unfortunate.
That's interesting.
And then of
I
course
didn't know
Kyrie
Drake was your
Irving.
favorite rapper.
He is. Even though he's being weird this year, but he is. Kyrie Irving, I think, I don't think that's the top story, but I think it really just kind of folds itself into the whole Kanye situation and all the
They're
anti-Semitism.
not related at all. You're falling for all the media shit.
No, well, actually,
You're falling for all.
I'm
of
not
it.
falling for anything.
You're falling for the lies
God.
that they're spreading about Twitter. Don't believe all the numbers. People are putting out numbers saying the N-word is up this much.
Okay, so who
They're
should I
clearly
be? Tell me
looking for
who should I
they're
believe?
looking for a
No,
reaction.
since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
No, we don't have to.
Tell me who I should believe. No.
Believe what you see,
Okay.
not what you hear. What you see with your own two eyes.
And I'm talking about what I see.
You saw the N-word littered all over your timeline?
I'm telling what I see.
You saw an article
I'm
that
not
said
going.
the N-word
Okay,
is
what did
up.
you see? What did you see?
I see people still interacting with Twitter the way that it's been used till this day. Still the number one source of information, breaking news. It is still the
So
number
you
one
don't
go-to
see-
app to see
No,
anything that
So
is
you don't.
pressing
No.
as far as world issues.
No. Since we want to talk about what I see, so you don't think seeing objectively problematic people reinstated is evidence that they're not
Who got reinstated? Who's the problematic
like
reinstatement?
Donald Trump and a whole bunch of like super right wing people who make like clear racist statements all the time.
Has Donald Trump shut up since he wasn't on Twitter?
No. I'm not talking about what he's done since he wasn't on off Twitter. I'm saying the fact that they have reinstated Donald Trump, reinstated Marjorie Taylor Greene, reinstated a whole bunch of people that are clearly problematic. Doesn't that mean that the standard has changed on the app? Since we're talking about what we see, and so this is what I've
There
seen.
are worse people online.
I'm not. This is not. That's you're not.
I-
You're
I
answering a
have-
different question.
I said
you're
no.
answering a different question.
I'm telling you no. It doesn't
Okay.
change anything for me.
I'm not saying it changes anything for you. I'm saying, does that mean it changes the app? Not whether your personal experience changes. Does that change what the app is?
I'll be
everybody?
honest. I'll be honest.
And I want you to think
Listen.
broadly here.
Checking Sora, please.
Okay.
So, like I said, since Donald Trump was off until he's been back on, I have not seen much difference. That is my honest opinion as far as my timeline. I am only on Twitter maybe 2 to 3 hours a day.
Okay. I was about to say
So-
a week. I was going to say that's a goddamn lie.
A day.
Okay.
So for me, I don't see enough political jargon that gets me turned up. The only time I hear about Donald Trump is people reporting on Donald Trump. That is the honest truth. So pay attention to what you put into your feed and into your mind and who you are listening to.
I'm
For me, the only time I hear about Donald Trump is when people report about Donald Trump. I never hear about Donald Trump from Donald Trump. That is the honest truth. It is other people who put him in my face. And those are the people I don't even want to listen to or pay attention to.
Still not quite answering my question, but it's okay. My last big moment, of course, was Will Smith embarrassing himself at the Oscars this year.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to.
That shit was planned. Hey, finish. You know what? I'm cutting you off. Finish.
Okay.
Finish.
It was planned, right?
It was.
Chris Rock planned to be slapped in the face.
Yeah.
What do you think? So, what's your opinion on 5G as it relates to COVID?
I don't know.
You don't know.
What is wrong with it?
You think it's possibly true
What?
that 5G is what gave us COVID?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just trying
Why
to
would
test.
that-
I was testing the threshold of what you're willing to believe.
No, I think we have to stop falling for Hollywood is weird, guys. Don't believe anything you see, y'all.
Oh, dear.
Y'all really think this grown ass man walked all the way there and slapped him? Come on, guys. Y'all can't fall. Everything is planned and preordained in Hollywood. None of this shit is fake. None of this shit is
okay. You know what? I was even
mysterious.
like say all this shit about Will Smith, but I think that's I said enough.
No, finish.
No, it's fine. I think
He embarrassed himself. You're
he
completely
did.
right.
Yeah, embarrassed himself. I think it was unfortunate. I think it's so sad that someone could reach the crowning moment of their career and do something so
I think so too.
so unfortunate. But anyways, who are your big newsmakers of 2022? Just
Johnny Depp.
okay.
Johnny Depp.
Are you pro Johnny Depp?
I am pro Johnny Depp. He heard a podcast that his ex-wife did, and she said that she got domestically abused. He sued her. He sued her, took her to court. He lost every deal. I think it was Dior Savage. He was supposed to do a reboot of Pirates of the Caribbean. They took him off. Some other deals he lost. He went to court for a whole year, won that shit, got $15 million from her. She's now trying to get the money back.
So he was awarded
15 million.
15, but because of between all the limitations, because actually the trial happened in the DMV in Fairfax actually, so there was a cap on
How much he could get.
He can get
because he sued her for 25, I think.
So he was awarded 15, but because one of the was a $10 million award and a $5 million. I think the $5 million was for defamation, I believe, and Virginia caps defamation at $350,000. So he could only get $350,000.
I don't care.
And then I'm breaking it down for you.
He won that shit.
And she was also awarded $2 million
From who?
From Johnny Depp for part of that, because I think either there was a countersuit or something. But anyways, the net money owed at the time was $8.3 million. But as of this week, they agreed on a settlement, and according to TMZ, she only has to pay him $1 million, which he will be donating to charity. Go ahead.
Anyway, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Johnny Depp.
Donald Trump fan, apparently.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Johnny Depp. I'm just gonna give him props for. Between him, Cardi B, and I forgot who else. I like the fact that artists you can't just say anything you want. I'm gonna sue your ass.
Okay.
I love that energy from artists from anybody. Stop it. You cannot just write any fragrant story to sell a book or go on a podcast and talk shit about me and make up lies and I lose deals in my livelihood. Okay. Hell no, I'm gonna sue your ass and you gotta pay me. Drake, because anytime he says something, everybody loves it. Even when he says 21, can you do something? He said it himself. He's polarizing. Whatever.
He is.
Whatever the case might be, the guy is probably the greatest artist of the last 6-7 years.
Okay, well, easily.
Literally everything he puts out is a hit.
Over the last decade.
He's been killing it. He's been super consistent. I'm not too sure about the last album before her loss, but regardless, I think he won this year as well. Will Smith and Chris Rock for distracting everybody from whatever they distracted us from. Diddy, he's fighting rumors by dating 5 girls at once, so I'll let you guys do the math on that one, on what he's fighting, what rumors he's running from. But 5 girls at once with a baby that just popped out of nowhere.
Right.
You guys do the math. Y'all tell me.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, like I always say, there's no Rihanna like thick Rihanna, and we're all happy to see it.
So it's funny. I was just talking to someone about her, and I'm worried. I don't think she's going to be ready for a Super Bowl.
She's going to be ready. They will snatch her ass up. Stop playing.
I mean,
SZA got the ultimate BBL. What do you think she's going to get with her money?
Oh, well, no, actually, I wasn't. Well, it's funny that you're talking about in the context of her looks, which is not really where I was going.
Rihanna's never been the greatest singer.
But that's actually valid where you're going with it, meaning that she hasn't lost a lot of the pregnancy weight. But I'm just saying I'm talking from this perspective of a woman who hasn't performed live since the Grammys in 2018. So this will be 5 years by the time the Super Bowl comes along.
Once you do it, it's like riding a bike. I think she'll be fine. And like I said, she's not known for carrying a song with her voice.
A big voice, okay.
It's always a performance. She's gonna have dancers, electric, music, blast, and then she's probably gonna have A$AP's probably gonna jump on stage and rap or something.
How unfortunate would that be? But I love that you're being optimistic. But go ahead.
I love Rihanna.
No, me too.
Rihanna can do no wrong in my eyes.
We'll see. All right, what else you got?
That's it.
All right. Cool.
Those are the biggest moments to me that I cared about.
Okay, that's fair. So, actually, if you had to say who won the year, give me your winners and your losers.
Who won the year? Won? Do I have that?
Who had the best year?
You know who had the best year? Conspiracy theories. I think
they sure did.
Everything they said, they knocked that shit the fuck out the park.
Because they clearly got people repeating their conspiracies.
I mean, whether you want to call it a conspiracy or a fact, a lot of it came true. And I think this year was the year of people just basically having to face the music, and I love it. So I would say those individuals that you want to consider theorist.
Okay, he's struggling. Theorist.
Okay. I think they won the year. Drake definitely won the year.
Okay.
And you can come back to me on that one. I don't know.
And who lost?
Oh, losers of the year. The media. I think the media lost. I think they've lost a lot of credibility this year. I think this year was a very eye-opening year for a lot of people to actually find out that the media is very biased on certain topics and certain individuals. And I think this was the year that a lot of people were paying attention to how the news was being reported. And I think for me, the media was playing a lot of games with sticking the cameras in front of problematic black individuals, such as Kanye and Kyrie, trying to put two and two together when those two issues were not relatable, trying to divide communities with the Jews versus blacks. It really wasn't. There's been a lot of narratives that they've been pushing, and I think a lot of people, they fell for it at first, but I think people have woken up to the point that they're not. I think we should definitely be on the lookout for what Kyrie is going to be doing as far as signing a shoe deal. Now that Nike has left, that he and Nike have parted ways.
And rightfully so.
Puma and...
You think Puma is going to pick up Kyrie Irving? Okay.
Anyways, Puma and also Adidas have reached out to him, but he has only taken deals with I forgot the name of the black shoe designer, but he's supposedly going to do a deal with him. So I would be hoping and glad he does that, because the media will continue to vilify individuals who honestly are not the people that they... I think we should pay attention to what people try to counsel. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
You standing on that?
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Cancel culture is fake, y'all.
Oh boy, he's using the term cancel culture.
It's
Interesting.
Fake. It's fake. You can be all sarcastic as you want, but it's fake as hell.
No, it's fine.
It's only used.
It is fake. I actually agree,
fake as
but
hell.
we're coming from two different.
There's nothing real about that cancel culture.
Cancel
they only try to
culture is
cancel certain
actually
people.
cancel culture as a term, and the way it's used now, it's really something that's only griped about by people who are.
And also another thing is, we as black people need to do better. We are not reporters, nor are we lawyers. So whenever people like Gunna are free from jail taking pleas, we don't understand the law or the intricacies that go to it. So there's no reason why you should be throwing cheese at a man's car in a parking garage because you think he's a rat. You guys, as black people,
that's really random,
do better.
but that is correct.
We need to
Someone
do better.
just to explain what he was talking about. So when Gunna was released, there's a lot of assumption on the internet that he told on his co-indictees.
Who do you be talking to like that? You think they don't get it?
Listen,
I love how he broke it down.
I want to
like,
make
hey
sure.
guys, so that was the hood way of saying it, or that was the urbanomics way of saying
that's
it.
not.
This is the
that's
watered
not-
down proper
That is not
version.
even what I was saying.
He
I was
told on it.
saying, what I'm saying is, I feel like you left it like it was a lot of like if someone knows nothing about Gunna or what even happened, they might be confused. So I'm just trying to explain.
No problem.
I'm trying to explain. Jesus. So Gunna, who went to jail in May for a single RICO charge, but was indicted with 27 other people, I believe, was 27, including Young Thug, was released this past week because he did an Alford plea, which is where you kind of sort of admit to. You agree with the prosecution without really admitting you're guilty. It's a weird situation. Anyways, someone on the internet filmed himself throwing cheese at Gunna's car like a fucking loser. And so that's what Eddie's talking about. So, but in any case, my winners of the year, I'll say number one winner is Keke Palmer. For had a good year. She had a big movie, hosted SNL, had announced that she was pregnant.
Was it really a big movie?
It was. See, okay. It was a big movie. Anyways, Ice Spice, I think she, to me, is a big breakout in hip hop this year. I don't give a fuck
You
what
just
anyone
like
says.
her, dog. Just admit it. It's the red hair, ain't it? It reminds you of a Cabbage Patch Baby. It brings you back to your childhood.
I think she's talented. I think she's a talented young woman. And
She's a talented young woman.
We're going to see great things
She
from
has
her.
a lot
And I
of
think the
talent.
hatred of her
She
is
has a lot of
weird.
talent.
His hatred of her is weird, honestly. And another thing that makes me like her so much is that when people try to look up her old tweets to see if she said any anti-black things, as light-skinned stars often tend to,
Damn.
She's just like, she was just on there saying all this extremely pro-black things, and everyone was like, wow, like we've never seen anyone beat allegations
She did.
this
She
well.
did.
And
She
so
did.
I was just
She
so
beat
proud
the
of her.
allegations.
And just
they was waiting to get her.
I know they
didn't
were.
find one problematic tweet
I was
from
just
her.
like, and that was just to
As a
me, it made me
16-year-old, I know if I was on Twitter, I probably would have said
it
a few
made
dumb
me
things.
like her that much more, just aside from just being talented and charismatic.
She is minding her
She's in that-
business, but at
minding
the
her
end of the
business
day,
and just doing well.
girl,
I really think the hatred
stop.
is irrational, and I really think she's a great artist. And I think, honestly, she's to me the best new kid on the block. Anyways,
artist.
last winner I think is an obvious one. You know who I'm going to say, Beyonce. I don't need to go over it again. We've talked
Beyonce
about
didn't
her.
do anything.
She didn't, but I think she gave us an excellent album, and she showed us that she's still.
I guess I want more, so
Yeah.
I'm being selfish as a
That's
consumer
fair.
of
That's
music.
fair. And we all want more, but I think she's had a good year. So that's my last winner. I don't need to go over it. Losers, there are many. I think the royal family and just their handling.
You call the royal family a loser.
Yeah, because they're just being just
Shout out
haters
Meghan and
Harry. And
Harry.
I'm watching the documentary right now, and the
I
more
would not
detail,
watch the doc, but shout out to you guys.
more-
Continue doing whatever the hell you're
the
doing.
more detail I find out, they're fucking ridiculous, trash, really. So losers, Tory Lanez. I feel like we diss him every episode on this podcast. Loser as well.
Y'all about to be humbled. I can't believe this.
No. So first of all, him being found not guilty doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't do what he did. Because like if Kelsey is committed to lying against Megan, that's one thing. Either way, I still loser of the year in my opinion. I think his conduct has been ridiculous. The tweets, just ridiculous. Ime Udoka, former head coach of the Boston Celtics and now ex-fiance of Nia Long, I think is one of the losers of the year. Come on.
No, he's not.
Come on.
Everybody fucks somebody in their workplace. They vilified. No, what he did was wrong. Yes, but he should not be crucified for that. Everybody sleeps with people in there. Everyone has affairs. But at the end of the day, what the Boston Celtics did was fucked up. They put his information on blast.
So
not
I
only
will
hurting
say,
his
okay,
that is
I
fucked
will
up.
agree with that.
That is
I
fucked
think
up. There's no reason why that
handling-
organization should have did that.
The Celtics handling of it did feel unusual. I will cede that point.
It was clearly because he's a black coach, a successful black coach. In his first year, he did something that no other coach had done for the Boston Celtics in years. Come on, bro. Everybody wants that job now. Everybody was still trying to hire him. They knew what they were doing, and then they knew that they couldn't even fire him, so they had to suspend his ass.
So why would they fire him after he got them to?
He's not fired. He's still suspended.
But why? But I think what you're saying is that why would they want to jeopardize their coach if they were happy with him?
They wanted to fire him because the
Why?
person because he slept with an executive's wife.
Okay.
He's not supposed. The point is, there's a clause in his contract that he can't be fired for certain things. This is not one of the clauses because it's such a weird instance.
It's personal
So
conduct.
if they fired him, they would still have to pay him, and not only that, he can go to another job ASAP.
Gotcha.
And he's a great coach. He is a great coach. So if they were to fire him, not only is he going to get paid, he will also get signed by another team. So all they can do is suspend him. And even with the suspension, they can only take so much money from that first year before they can let him go after the year. So at the end of the day, he honestly didn't do anything wrong but cheat on his wife. And I think that is an everyday thing that in the basketball world, all those people do it. In the sports industry, everyone does these things. And look at what is happening to Dan Snyder, the white owner of the
Commanders.
of the Washington, the former Washington Redskins. Commanders, whatever they're called. The guy was trading pictures of cheerleaders, and he was having orgies in the locker room for Christ's sake. Like they was wilding out. He was acting like it was a boys club.
Is this facts?
Yes, he was wilding out. There's a whole investigation. The guy said if he goes down, he's taking all the other owners down with him. And nobody's talking about that. Are we talking about the black coach? Come on. The point is, a black man
point taken.
I'm
But
done.
listen, still a loser. I don't give that. Notwithstanding, still a loser for putting Nia Long through what he put her through. So. Wow. Next loser, Will Smith.
Y'all acting like this is Nina Long from 50 years ago. This is Nina Long.
Just.
All right, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Will Smith, obvious reasons. We've talked about.
Watch
it
out for his
multiple times.
comeback next year.
I want it to happen.
Look, put me on record right now.
At this
See what
point,
happens to his career next year.
I want it to happen. Emancipation just dropped. I don't know how it's performing, but it just dropped. I want him to have his
It's on Apple
comeback.
Plus. That should tell you enough.
But I don't even know what that meant.
Hey, I'll let everybody else figure it out.
But anyways, I want him to have his comeback. But as it stands right now, yeah.
Will Smith has been compromised. I don't know how. I don't know why, but he's been compromised.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Welcome to this episode of InfoWars. But anyways, my next, my final loser, and the grand loser, I have to say, is Nicki Minaj. I think she spent the entire year.
What is wrong with you?
Entire year embarrassing herself, fighting with these kids who are like half her age, and to the point now that a lot of have to say that she's older than her mama, which was hilariously true. It turns out.
Your mom had you at 16.
It does not matter. It's
y'all idiots. Nicki Minaj, as much as y'all want to talk shit, she is the greatest female artist of all time. All time. None of
artist
you
or
women,
rapper?
Rapper.
Gotcha. Okay.
Rapper. Right. She's the greatest female rapper of all time. That is it. Period. There's none that can touch her and compete. All that shit y'all talking about her age, whatever
so
y'all
bar
saying.
for bar, she raps better than
Yes, everybody.
Better than
She's
Foxy Brown?
better. Yes, she raps better than everybody. Raps better. So all the hijinks, everything that y'all want to talk about, she had points that were made. Even when she brought up DJ Khaled for payola, when she brought up Travis Scott selling merchandise to get his record, his album #1, she said all this shit and everyone said she's a hater. And then what happened? SoundScan said, hey guys, that's not gonna count towards your records anymore. But she called it out, but everyone called her a hater.
How about
same with this Grammy shit.
No, but now that you mention that, how about her allegedly having stream farms to get her songs to chart high?
Everybody does it.
Okay, so then if everyone does it, then she should be quiet about
I don't know if she does, but
that
everybody does it.
That is the running accusation.
I've never heard. This is my first time hearing that she uses a streaming farm.
Of course you didn't.
But regardless, I'm not even a stan.
Apparently.
I just respect artists that put in the work.
I respect her too.
All these overnight artists that people are giving. How the fuck is Gorilla? I love her, but a Grammy nomination on her first try. Cardi B got a fucking Grammy before Nicki. Come on, y'all. It's all favoritism. It is what it is. Come on.
So here's what I'll say.
When it's favoritism and someone calls it out, don't spit in their face and say they're
Nicki doesn't have a Grammy,
or they're losers or whatever.
I'll see that the fact that Nicki doesn't have a Grammy is outrageous, but at this point,
Nicki's the greatest female rapper of all time. She don't need a Grammy to prove anything to anybody.
Agreed.
Go buy the Pink Paint or whatever it's called.
But still the biggest loser of the year. So, but yeah, that's...
You're a hater. I hope the Barbs get you. Put your Twitter name right there too, right on your shirt. I swear to God, I'm gonna tag your ass.
I just have to say,
Definitely gonna let the Barbs.
The conduct this year has just been, and actually that is exactly part of it, right? Sickening her fans on regular people. And like having
no one says that when the Beehive kills and murders people.
The Beehive is not killing and murdering.
Come on, dog.
It's not to the same level.
Yes, it is. The Beehive is way more toxic than Nicki's fans.
Okay, sure.
You don't.
No.
There's SNL skits about how crazy her fans are. No. Are you kidding me? There's no moment or skits about the Nicki, what are they called? Barbs? Right. There's no Barbs militia.
Because she's not as big of a star, so no one's going to do that. But anyways.
You're a hater. I didn't know you did not like her.
No, actually, the funny thing is I
thought you like light-skinned girls. Damn, you just don't like her. Because she's from Queens?
No.
You like Bronx because they dirty.
No.
I get it. Okay.
It's all this New York. All this New York talk.
I see what it is.
Listen,
bro.
I do like Nicki. I do think, but I think she has gotten so weird, and I think she's shitting on her legacy with the way she conducts herself. So that's all it is.
Her legacy's cemented.
That's arguable.
Young Money, Cash Money.
That's arguable, but in any case, final loser. That's all I have. I'm looking forward to 2023. I think it's going to be a great year. Eddie, tell us where we can find your podcast. And also tell us what you got planned for the year.
No Parking on Sundays podcast. We will be coming back shortly. Spotify, Apple Podcast, and any other place that you listen to podcasts. As far as next year, hopefully we can take it visual and be like you, record ourselves.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Looking to take it to a next level as far as our pod. So me and Jay have some real cool guests
And
coming through.
what's the handle on Instagram? Did you say that already?
No parking on Sundays.
Okay.
You'll
your-
tag it.
Yeah. And what's your personal Eddie Midnite?
No, do not find me.
Oh, forget that I said that. So yeah. Anyways, episode 70, in the last episode of the year.
Send all complaints to this guy.
Right. No hipster spot. Talk to you next year. Bye.